Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
After today, it won't be cold, but cooler than it has been and rather active with daily rain chances through Memorial Day. 7-day accumulation would be at least 1.5 inches for the lightest shade of purple and up to, say, 3 inches in the bright reds near Morgantown. Adding some context, though, Charleston is behind monthly average by 2 inches, year-to-date by 5.5 inches. And just to keep up with average, we need over 1 inch. So if we get 1 3/4 of an inch, imagine these numbers improving by only 0.6 or so of an inch. Now, for thunderstorms, a marginal severe risk for the northern panhandle this afternoon and evening, a widespread marginal risk Wednesday afternoon and evening. So we will see a few storms out there, especially looking north in the overnight hours, then generally a lull before additional rain builds in from the west as we head through the day. Late afternoon and evening is when we start to see some stronger storms and some widespread rain that will fill out West Virginia and linger for a wet Thursday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. That same cold front will have temperatures falling for D.C., for New York, but Chicago already cool behind the front with stormy pockets depending on where you're traveling. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, New Cumberland 65 tonight, Moundsville 68, 71 to 76 here tomorrow with storms. Going east where we stay closer to 70 overnight, and because the cold front reaches here last, a lot of these communities do manage 90s one more time on Wednesday. We'll see Elkins at 65 tonight, Ripley 67, highs and low 80s here to mid 70s for our Wednesday. We'll see Charleston 67 tonight, Lewisburg 59, 85 there, 83 in Charleston on Wednesday. Then we'll see low 70s and upper 60s by Thursday. Gradually warmer through the holiday weekend with more storm action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for MetroNews Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back. Hello, West Virginia. We're back for more in the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. MetroNews Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Coop, did you go outside today? Did you get a walk today? Because, man, it is a smoker on Virginia Street.
Pretty warm.
87.
Pretty warm.
87.
My shoes melted just a touch.
Isn't that depressing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's better than winter. I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was more concerned about the melting of the shoes. You know, you ever had melted shoes?
I mean, I'm serious. These were definitely a little loose as I walked around a little bit today. They changed texture as I was walking, so something was going on with the fundamental structure of them.
I think I've told this story before. One of the first real jobs I ever had in high school was at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Mm-hmm. And so to prepare to work at Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think my mom took me to the working man store in downtown Clarksburg to get me some work shoes.
Did you ever meet the Colonel?
Never met the Colonel, but I was an employee when Crispy was introduced, and all the employees, Crispy Chicken at KFC.
Oh, the product.
The product. Yeah,
okay.
Wasn't like he was the
Cousin
mascot.
Crispy, you know.
Yeah.
No, and we all had to sign waivers as employees that we would not steal the recipe. And I'm thinking, 17-year-old me would not have been able to manage that.
Yeah.
But so we went to the working man store in Clarksburg to get my first ever set of serious work shoes for my first real job. So I would ride my bicycle to the KFC in my new shoes, and within 2 weeks, the shoes melted.
Oh, my.
They literally melted from all of the gum-soled shoes, literally melted after a couple of weeks.
Was it from the KFC, like the hot grease or
Yes.
anything? Was it
Yes.
really? Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So I was one of the guys who had the job of like closing the restaurant, and it would get pretty grimy. And I remember thinking, my feet are burning, and then I looked down, and literally the soles of my shoes had melted away. So probably it might have twofold. It was really like, man, this is a really difficult place to work, and maybe the construction of the shoes weren't that great.
Yeah, but I mean, you think you could get shoes that would survive that. But I mean, honestly, these shoes I was wearing today, it was odd. It was like I was walking on like I had those water insoles, but I don't. Like suddenly I was just like squishing around in my shoes. I was like, why are they doing this? Is it because it's hot? I guess.
Am I bearing the lead that today is a Tickets Tuesday?
Oh,
Today,
it is. Yes.
Today is a Tickets Tuesday. So how many more tickets do we have to move for the concert with Chicago?
We got a pair this week and a pair next week.
Oh, that's cool. So we will do that at 5:33 today. We'll have a Tickets Tuesday. The topics today are WVU baseball, and I guess focusing in on the Big 12 tournament. WVU baseball and the Big 12 tournament. West Virginia plays on Thursday. Hockey dynasties for a couple of reasons. First of all, we have our Hockey Insider coming back at 4:30 today. This has never happened before, Coop. We have two guests in the 4 o'clock hour, and they're both named Alex. So
well, I'll be darned.
It's the Alex Hour. We've never had that before.
Why didn't we have Alex Hour when Alex Thomas was here?
Oh,
I feel like that would have polled well with the audience.
It probably would have. Yeah, probably would have charted well.
I don't know how much would they both have been banging on West Virginia all the time. I don't know.
I don't know. So we have Alex Kozora, who's subbing in for Dave.
That's
Bryant
right.
today.
I was trying to think of who the other, but I'm the one that told you about that.
Yeah,
right.
and then Alex Wiederspiel is at 4:30.
And Alex Wiederspiel is great. I mean, Alex Kozora is great too. We've had him on from Steelers Depot, but you know me, I don't really follow hockey all that closely.
Let's do the hockey.
Well, I had to follow it. I mean, I've been to I know the game, but so I had to follow it a little bit more last week while you were gone. And man, all I had to do was pencil him in and be like, so hockey, right?
Hockey.
Just let him go. Just let him go. Alex is great.
So hockey, eh?
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, tell me some of that hockey stuff. And Alex just takes off with it. It was awesome.
Let's do the hockey. All right. So
also, sorry to interrupt, Dave, but remember, for Tickets Tuesday, you might hear the answer in the show, so watch out for any red herrings.
That's true.
So watch out for any red herrings.
If that was a clue, that would be so great.
We might have to work it in.
Yeah, but we do have the mystery category. So the mystery category is the third category, and the answer will be revealed before we get to the Tickets Tuesday. That'll be at 5:33. Is it... Coop, sometimes when we have a Tickets Tuesday, it's kind of like I'm doing the show for me, I know I'm supposed to be doing the show for the listeners, but man, Tickets Tuesday, I really enjoy writing the questions and interacting with the listeners. So we'll do that. That'll be at 5:33 today. I mentioned to Jeff Jenkins in the crosstalk. Jeff, by the way, I think is coming in for the news.
He's going to
update.
today? Okay.
That's the plan.
He didn't know if you had a little too much Jeff yesterday, so he decided to cool his heels a little
It's
bit.
okay. It's okay. It was funny yesterday, though. I saw him peek in the door and then turn and run. And I was like, is that like a comment on the program?
We have this giant studio with a zillion chairs, and they were all full yesterday.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's crazy. That is crazy. But he'll be back. But I mentioned to him in our little segment right before the top of the hour that we were, well, it's over now. We were monitoring the press conference of WVU's athletic director, Wren Baker. So we'll be talking a little bit about that and probably hear some of that probably later than sooner, maybe in the 5 o'clock hour today. I wasn't aware, I just got back from vacation, I've only been back in town literally 30 hours or so. I didn't realize last night's Reds game was on local TV. Did you know that?
No, I
do you
didn't
get
know.
the CW in your TV package? Do you get the local channels?
I don't even do cable anymore.
You don't?
No, I have 2 streamers and that's it, and none of them's live cable.
So I was up in the office doing the prep for today's show, and I had the game day operation working on my desktop, but I didn't realize the CW is the low. Why I'm asking you? You don't have the package, but I'm guessing that this local TV package for Reds baseball and on the over-the-air channel on the CW here locally is a Monday night thing. It seems like all of the games have been on Monday night.
Yeah, it could
be.
Yeah, that could be.
So I watched the condensed game. I could have watched the entire game if I chose to, but I watched the condensed game last night after it got released. How you feeling about this situation?
Yeah, man, they're not very good. The major problem with the team is that their bullpen is busted. I mean, it's I don't really see that there's any real repair for it. Emilio Pagan's hurt, but he wasn't having a good season.
Nasal obstructions.
The result of what's happening, just the name of the guy that's out there. And the problem that they have otherwise, I mean, you might be able to live with that. In baseball, you can have a team that maybe can outscore you, so maybe if you don't win by pitching every game, you can win by scoring. And the problem is that some of the things that the Reds needed to happen. I mean, Spencer Steer has found his swing, and he's fine. He seems like he's going to be fine. But T.J. Friedel is not a good baseball player. He had one good month last year. That
maybe he should work at KFC.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he should. And that's a huge problem. Matt McLean, I think that he has way more bad at-bat seasons now than he has good at-bat seasons. So I think it's time to appreciate the fact that his good season was the aberration and not the level that we're hoping to re-achieve. So Matt McLean's probably an under 230 hitter that plays good defense and will occasionally hit a home run for you. If that's a guy that you think you can win with right now, great. If not, with the rest of this offense, that becomes a problem as well. With Suarez out, you have to rely more on Ke'Bryan Hayes, who couldn't buy a hit if you gave him $1 million in a softball pitch. I mean, they got problems, man, pitching and hitting.
So the Pirates have lost 4 of 5. They were swept by the Phillies, who are as hot as anybody in baseball right now. So the Pirates get back in it tonight. They're in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. I was looking at some of the stats last night for J.J. Weatherholt. Man, do you realize that Weatherholt has been hit by 10 pitches? He's been hit by 10 pitches already.
I think when I saw the last time I looked at his stat line in total, he had like 8. So that might have been a week or two ago. But, yeah, I knew that he was getting hit at a pretty good rate.
Yeah, so how many games have they played? The Cardinals have played, I'm taking a look at it now, 46 games. So you're a third of the way, well, not quite a third of the way through the season already. Man, it goes by fast, doesn't it? He's on pace, man, to get hit like 40 times a season.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Man. That's a lot.
That is a whole lot. Now, the most amongst active players, the guy who gets hit the most is Ty France of Seattle. And that's sort of like, when you see him come up to the plate, it's like, oh, he gets hit a lot.
Oh, who really enjoys that?
Who?
Ty France. How else is he getting on base?
I know.
Gosh, he played for the Reds for like a couple months. What a terrible player.
Do you remember the guy who was really significant in this regard in terms of being hit by pitches was Ron Hunt?
Oh, yeah.
You remember
right.
Ron Hunt? Ron Hunt would come to the plate, and literally he would choke up on the bat so much that it almost looked like he was holding the bat in the middle of the bat. But he would literally, his hands, when he was at the plate, would be hanging into the strike zone. I'm sure this probably happened. You're supposed to make an effort to try to get out of the way of the ball. I'm sure that there may have been instances where Hunt had been plunked a couple of times, and the umpire didn't let him take first base.
Well,
how would the robot umps handle that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think that one of the interesting things about how hit by pitches have changed so much is the types of pitches that people get hit by. It used to always mean that you crowded the plate and people were hitting you with like hard inside stuff or whatever it might be. But people have those wild breaking sweepers and stuff now, and people are getting hit on their back foot all the time.
Yeah.
Like you see that. It seems like every game you see somebody get hit on their back foot where they had a breaking ball that drops through the strike zone and hits them on the back foot. That happens so much now.
I'm not a walking encyclopedia on Weatherholt, but in the season and a half that he played at WVU, was this part of his arsenal that he would get on base by being hit by pitches? I don't really remember that. Or was that something that he developed in the minor leagues? Honestly, I really don't think that's a path to greatness.
Remember when they
Being
first started
plumbed.
allowing people to wear armor and and some of it, to the ball at bat when they first started allowing that, and some of these guys would come to plate with their entire right shoulder decked out in plate mail or whatever.
Wow.
Dare you to hit me?
Well, you remember what Barry Bonds used to wear?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Right, exactly.
It's like, man, when you look at that, you're thinking, how can this person swing? But that's technology. All that stuff would protect you from really being seriously injured, and it would weigh essentially nothing, and he would be at the plate. Don't we have do we have a video game report today?
Sure, if you want it.
Well, okay, let's see if we can.
Before he came in, he's like, Dave was just kind of mumble mouth about it. I don't know if he wants me to say anything or not.
Was that a phrase that was actually used to describe me?
I said you were very mum about it.
Mom, not mumble mouth. Okay.
You were non-committal.
Yeah.
Well, who was that character we were talking about yesterday with Bill Cosby?
Mushmouth.
Mushmouth. That was very mushmouth
Right,
about
right.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's make it official. Let's get a little video game report music and knock this puppy out in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
What do you got?
All right, so a game just released recently called Subnautica 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the very popular Subnautica. It's about deep sea exploration on an alien world, and it got very popular on streaming platforms, YouTube, Twitch, etc., and it garnered a pretty good audience. Now, the second one came out, but it's a good game.
Okay.
From what I've seen, it's a pretty good game. But there's a very weird sticking point, which is the end-user licensing agreement that you have to sign when you get the game.
But nobody reads those.
Nobody reads those, but this one has a lot of weird stuff in it. So here are just a few highlights. According to the agreement, you aren't allowed to publish recordings, screenshots, etc., or stream the game without a disclaimer that it's not supported by Krafton Inc. Now, what's Krafton Inc.? That is the publisher of the game, not the developer. The developer is Unknown Worlds Entertainment. Krafton is the publisher, which means they're mostly involved in publishing, distribution, advertisement. So why is Krafton putting their name in the end-user licensing agreement instead of the developer? I wish I could say. Some other stuff is you aren't allowed to use a VPN while you're playing the game, which that's like an internet privacy measure that you can use. It's very common.
Why would they have that in there?
I don't know. But here's the weirdest one. The weirdest one to me. Quote, you are not allowed to take actions that go against, quote, social norms. Now, which social norms are you talking about? Because Krafton Incorporated is a South Korean company. Are we not allowed to break South Korean social norms? Is this like maritime law, international law?
Maritime law.
What social norms are we not allowed to break while playing this single-player game?
Oh, could social norms just simply be cheating?
Maybe.
Okay.
There is a clause that says you aren't allowed to cheat in the game, but a lot of these things are unenforceable, possibly illegal. There are several reviews on like well-known game review websites that are like, hey, this review is in violation of the end-user licensing agreement, but we're going to publish it anyway because that's our job as reviewers. So I guess maybe I'm in violation of the end-user licensing agreement, though I haven't signed it because I haven't played the game, but it's a very weird situation. It's kind of funny too, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Even the developers, Unknown Worlds Entertainment, said, hey, we aren't going to prosecute or seek any kind of recompense from anyone who breaks this EULA. This is specifically on the publisher.
Coop, if that was a violation, are MetroNews attorneys ready to take this case on to protect Ryan's position here, or does he just basically go out like yesterday's potato salad?
Yeah, I wouldn't take any risks.
All right.
All right, then don't put this part in the.
I'll turn in
this part won't be in the.
We would deploy full measures to protect our assets.
I'll turn in my badge. And
synergistically.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So bottom line it here, I mean, is this making waves in the video game community? Is this going to impact sales?
Well, the sales have already happened.
You see how we'll write the sales scoop?
You can't really... The end user licensing agreement does state that Crafton Incorporated does have the right to terminate your ability to play the game. But are they actually going to enforce that? Because otherwise you're just taking money and then not delivering a game, which is a scam.
On the VPN thing, Coop, would that be, for example, I'm trying to play this game. If I had the VPN, would that I wouldn't be able to phone a friend like you to help me win this particular
VPNs just
game?
change. It masks where
you are,
yeah,
right?
And my guess is that's probably there's probably ad reasons for that. They can't properly commit to what ads they show to what regions or whatever if there's too many users using VPNs to show back to their sponsors or whatever it might be. I mean, that would be my guess, that it probably has something to do with revenue more than anything else.
But VPNs are becoming more and more common in modern computers and phones. So it's going to be hard to avoid.
That's a really interesting story.
Also, I don't mean to alarm you, but the sign behind you says talk line instead of hotline.
It does?
Yeah.
Well,
we'll change that during the break.
That's another thing.
Appreciate you bringing it up on air instead of in the commercial break.
Exactly. Looks like we've got something else for the attorneys to work on. All right, Jeff Jenkins is here, thankfully. What do we got going on in West Virginia today?
Yes, at the website, wvmetronews.com, state police reacting today to the verdict in the Timothy Kennedy case. Of course, he shot and killed Sergeant Corey Maynard back in June 2023. And the West Virginia Troopers Association reacting today, and state police themselves reacting, the agency. So we've got that story. It's the lead story at wvmetronews.com. And a screenshot there of some video that Bob Aaron, longtime reporter, he had a good video of the courtroom yesterday. So that's a picture of the courtroom before the verdict was read. And you can see it's full of troopers there. Quite a picture there at the website. Also, Dave, there was the governor announced today, big statewide celebration in connection with the 250th birthday of the U.S. It'll be centered at the state capitol coming up beginning on Thursday, July 2nd. And so it'll go through the holiday weekend. And, of course, regatta is happening at the same time in Charleston. So huge weekend, about, a mile and a half apart. You can see that story and plenty more at the website.
Jeff, thank you. By the way, that story that you just referred to is brand new. I mean, it just posted in the last 15 minutes or so.
Yep.
Let's take a quick break. Thanks for the video game report today, Ron.
Sure thing.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Toughness,
Ask
blockage.
yourself what you will miss
Is it
more,
allergy?
your
Is it
children
sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
In 1914,
The same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
After today, it won't be cold, but cooler than it has been and rather active with daily rain chances through Memorial Day. 7-day accumulation would be at least 1.5 inches for the lightest shade of purple and up to, say, 3 inches in the bright reds near Morgantown. Adding some context, though, Charleston is behind monthly average by 2 inches, year-to-date by 5.5 inches. And just to keep up with average, we need over 1 inch. So if we get 1 3/4 of an inch, imagine these numbers improving by only 0.6 or so of an inch. Now, for thunderstorms, a marginal severe risk for the northern panhandle this afternoon and evening, a widespread marginal risk Wednesday afternoon and evening. So we will see a few storms out there, especially looking north in the overnight hours, then generally a lull before additional rain builds in from the west as we head through the day. Late afternoon and evening is when we start to see some stronger storms and some widespread rain that will fill out West Virginia and linger for a wet Thursday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. That same cold front will have temperatures falling for D.C., for New York, but Chicago already cool behind the front with stormy pockets depending on where you're traveling. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast, New Cumberland 65 tonight, Moundsville 68, 71 to 76 here tomorrow with storms. Going east where we stay closer to 70 overnight, and because the cold front reaches here last, a lot of these communities do manage 90s one more time on Wednesday. We'll see Elkins at 65 tonight, Ripley 67, highs and low 80s here to mid 70s for our Wednesday. We'll see Charleston 67 tonight, Lewisburg 59, 85 there, 83 in Charleston on Wednesday. Then we'll see low 70s and upper 60s by Thursday. Gradually warmer through the holiday weekend with more storm action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 minutes till the hour. Man, there is so much stuff going on today. So much stuff. Let's just talk a little bit about what's happening today. All right. So the Reds will continue their series in Philadelphia against the Red Hot Phils. And Coop, this is going to be one of those games tonight. You know, Burns is going. So Ace has got to ace, right? This is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, I don't think that they were expecting for him to be the ace this year, but he certainly has been. Under a 2 ERA, I think he's 5-1.
He's 5-1.
He's got to be the stopper for him.
Yeah, so he's going
nobody
tonight.
Else.
He's going tonight. Pirates are on the road in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Bucks have lost 4 of 5. They're coming off a 3-game sweep at home at the hands of the Phils, so we'll see what happens. Mitch Keller, who pitched right here in Charleston for the West Virginia Power, is taking the mound tonight. He's been pretty good. 4-2 with an ERA of 3.59. We'll take a look at the lineups for the Reds and the Pirates when we get them. And after a Monday day off in the Atlantic League, the Charleston Dirty Birds are very brief 2-game set out of town. They'll play Gastonia tonight, and then they have a doubleheader with Gastonia tomorrow. And game 1 is early. It's either I think maybe starts at 12:30. So tomorrow they got an early game and then a late game. So they are back in action. WVU baseball. The Big 12 tournament begins today. Now, as far as WVU goes, they do not play until Thursday because they have a double bye. And let me just get this up here. Let's see. So the action, there's a doubleheader of Big 12 baseball action that begins later today. So we know that WVU will either play on Thursday at 6:30 against TCU, Utah, or Kansas State. So that's happening. Marshall baseball, they are playing in the Sun Belt tournament today, and that is in Montgomery, Alabama, and they will play Louisiana. And that game starts right after 4 o'clock. So we'll keep you updated on that. Could you ever been to Montgomery, Alabama? I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, I've been to Montgomery. When I had a place in Gulf Shores, I went over to Montgomery.
Okay. I used to fly into Montgomery all the time because I had a couple of years where I was like the designated ESPN guy who did football for the Troy Trojans. Oh, yeah. So you would fly into Montgomery, and then you would drive down to Troy. It was only 40 minutes there. And so the Sun Belt tournament is going on there. And the first time I ever went to Montgomery, they used to hold the NCAA Division II National Championship tournament there. And so I would call that tournament for Prime Sports. And I remember one year West Virginia State played in it. But that's not where the tournament is. In the old ballpark, it was really curious. Over the left field wall at the old ballpark in Montgomery, if you hit a home run out there, that went into the graveyard where Hank Williams was buried. So that was always kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
And there's also a little bit of a local connection to Montgomery because if you remember, the Dixons used to own the Charleston baseball team. So when Montgomery was awarded a Double-A franchise, I think they're in the Southern League, or they were in the Southern League back in those days. They left Charleston and they went to Montgomery. And you remember they took Jim Tocco with them. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Jim Tocco? He was the voice of the radio voice of the team. So he went to Montgomery. And the Montgomery Biscuits, do you remember their logo? Their logo was like a biscuit. Like a biscuit was a head.
No,
okay?
I don't remember
And then
this.
they cracked open the biscuit, and the tongue of the biscuit head was actually like a pat of butter. It was really creative.
Huh.
It was really creative. Anyway, I digress. But that's where the sun.
Made me a little hungry, honestly.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, you know what? You got to love a radio show that starts talking about a college baseball tournament and ends into a conversation about biscuits, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
So
absolutely.
there you go. There you go. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Montgomery. The other thing about Montgomery, I remember I was trying to learn what Montgomery was all about, and I went to a mall there, and I'm walking around just trying to get a feel on what's going on in Montgomery, Alabama, and I went to a place where you could buy oil paintings of Bear Bryant.
That's random, but of course you could.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you could literally buy oil paintings of Bear Bryant, young Bear Bryant, old Bear Bryant, and then next to them, but smaller, were oil paintings of Pat Dye. So you could just get the Auburn flavor in
That's
there.
funny.
Okay, question of the day. Question of the day is about sports. We mentioned the WVU's athletic director, Wren Baker, is meeting the media today. He mentioned in some of his early remarks that there's no imminent news about the naming rights for Mountaineer Field, where WVU plays football inside Pushkar Stadium. So no imminent update on the naming rights for Mountaineer Field. So they're continuing to explore revenue options, as all athletic departments are these days. So the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law, who would you like to see buy the naming rights for Mountaineer Field? Who would you like to see buy the naming rights for Mountaineer Field? To respond, text those in, 304-TALK-304, 304-8255-304. You can tweet me. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Some of these responses. Who would you like to see buy the naming rights to Mountaineer Field? Matt in Utah. Dave, what about Ryan's video game report field at Hotline Stadium? That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Matt. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's
good.
pretty good. Jody on X. Dave, I don't want it renamed, but if it has to happen, I vote for Old School Field. Old School Field. Let's see. Doug on X. The Dave Weekly Stadium at Mountaineer Field. That's not going to be happening.
No.
I wouldn't bet on that.
I mean, it would be good. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
It would be very
fantastic.
Good. Yeah, they would be well worth their time.
That'd be fun. Jennings on X. Dave, what about sheets? The concession stands would become made-to-order areas, and they could install the world's biggest beer cave. I like where he's going with that.
Yeah,
I like where he's going with that. So there you go. That's the question of the day. WVU's athletic director, Wren Baker, said today that he doesn't have an update on naming rights at Mountaineer Field, but continues to explore options. So the question is, who would you like to see buy the naming rights for Mountaineer Field? Text line 304-TALK-304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X, of course, at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, Coop, what do you think? Let's do some Sound of Sports stuff. Let's get into that. Pirates looking to turn things around in St. Louis tonight. Bucks have lost 3 straight, 4 of 5. In Philly last night, stop me if you've heard this before, the Reds bullpen. Yeah. Bryson Stott hit a 2-run homer with 2 outs in the 8th off Graham Ashcraft, and that was the difference in a 5-4 loss to the Fightins.
To bat against Ashcraft. And Terry Francona, you can kind of read his body language. And he's moving around an awful lot at his perch in the Reds dugout. Can believe agonizing over this decision. But like you said, Ashcraft is so good on left-handers, I think you got to stick with him right here.
Fly ball, right field. Back is Steer. Back toward the wall. It is gone! 2-run home run for Bryson Stott, and he's just given the Phillies the lead. Towering shot to right. It's a 5-4 ball game.
All right, so the Phils have won 5 straight. The Reds are now back to 500. They're 4-13 in the month of May. Here's Red skipper Terry Francona on his decision to send Ashcraft out for a second inning of relief in the 8th inning.
No, I actually felt pretty good about it until the ball left the bat. He's been scuffling against right-handers. He's really scuffled against Ashcraft. I had him up in case his pitch count had gotten, or there was a couple walks, or I just didn't want to rush somebody. But I had him more for Crawford. No, I'm not happy with the result, but I felt like that was the right thing to do.
Tonight in Game 2 of the set, the Reds will send right-hander Chase Burns to the mound against the Phillies lefty Jesus Luzardo. In St. Pete last night, the O's were stomped by the Rays 16-6. That's the most runs Tampa Bay scored in a game in nearly a year. Yandy Diaz had 4 hits and 4 RBI. Junior Caminero also knocked in 4. 3 coming on this Oppo 3-run homer in the 5th inning.
So it's 2nd and 3rd, now with 1 out. As the ball drilled the other way to right by Caminero, way back to the wall, gone! And right after Henderson doesn't turn a double play, Junior Caminero capitalizes. A 3-run opposite field shot makes it 12-4 Tampa Bay. Junior La Maxima for the 13th time.
O's right-hander Kyle Bradish looks to slow down Tampa Bay tonight in Game 2 of the set. The Rays are 13-3 in May. They're 31-15, and they've got the best record in the bigs. And back in D.C., the Nats were losers to the Mets 16-7 in 12 innings. New York scored 10 runs in the top of the 12th to put this one away, but the game's biggest bang came in the 4th when the Mets' Brett Beatty launched a rocket up over everything.
Mets down 3-1 as we start the 4th inning. Brett Beatty slams one to deep center field. Weaver goes back, takes a look, and that's way out of here. Brett Beatty with an enormous home run over the center field fence on the first pitch of the 4th inning from Jake Irvin. 3rd home run of the season for Beatty, and it was a bomb.
It was a bomb for sure.
And it cuts the Nats lead to 3-2.
So a nugget on this one, the Mets become the first National League team to score at least 10 runs in an extra inning since the 1919 Cincinnati Reds. Foster Griffin goes for the Nats tonight. In the Bronx, the Yankees edge the Blue Jays 7-6. Cody Bellinger, Jazz Chisholm hit 2-run homers in the 7th as the Bombers rallied to top Toronto. Chisholm clipped the foul pole with this liner to left, and it turned out to be the difference in the game.
2-out walk. Going to bring up Jazz Chisholm.
I mean, this is where he's looking to try to take the lead here.
Sky down the left field line. That ball is off the pole. Off the pole. A 2-run home run for Jazz Chisholm. And the Yankees lead 7-5. Go figure this game out, Paul.
Well, you're looking at it to take the lead. You figure he's going to try to pull one. Why not just shoot one down the left foul pole? I think he was as surprised as anybody, but a huge inning for the Yankees, all with 2 outs.
All right, good pitching matchup tonight in this series with the Yankees right-hander Will Warren going up against the Blue Jays right-hander Dylan Cease. NBA playoffs. It's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight at MSG as the Knicks host the Cavs. While New York hasn't played in more than a week, Cleveland advanced to the Final Four with a lopsided road romp over the Pistons in Detroit on Sunday night. Here's the Knicks' Jalen Brunson on the Cavs' Donovan Mitchell.
The utmost respect. Gotten to know him since really maybe my first year. We had mutual friends, and then getting to know him, the dude works really hard, loves the game. I think he approaches it the right way. Just got a lot of respect for him.
All right, Mitchell had 26 points in Game 7 against the Pistons. The Cavs haven't been in the conference finals since LeBron James' final season with the franchise back in 2018. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma City, what a start last night to the Western Conference Finals. San Antonio outlasted the defending champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, 122-115. After OKC's SGA got the NBA MVP before the tip-off, the Spurs' Victor Wembanyama dominated the game with 41 points and 24 boards, including some clutch buckets and blocks in the second OT.
Lobbing. Wembanyama! He's unbelievable, folks. He's unbelievable. Thunder down 6. Got to go quick. Williams and Wembanyama engulfs the ball. Shot clock is off. Harper is fouled. Another Wemby block seals this for the Spurs.
All right, the Spurs' road win snapped the Thunder's 9-game playoff winning streak. This was the first NBA playoff game to need double overtime since 2013. All right, we'll take a quick break. We're coming back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Zach Hupp, project manager with CEC. After graduating from Glenville State College, I took over my dad's surveying business. It was fulfilling, but when CEC came calling, I knew it was an opportunity I couldn't refuse. With CEC, I'm reaching clients I never dreamed of and seeing projects through to completion. It's more than a job,
It's a new chapter. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
MetroNews Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and
about
onions.
That. Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
All right, welcome back to the show. About 8 minutes till the hour. We did the baseball highlights, the majority of them in the Sound of Sports. But, Coop, we got to talk a little bit about this JT Ginn situation last night. So, Ginn for the Athletics took a no-hitter into the ninth inning at the Big A against the L.A. Angels last night. And he didn't get the no-hitter. He didn't get the win. As a walk-off home run by Zach Neto gave the game to the Angels in a big celebration in Anaheim. Ginn joins Rich Hill as the second pitcher in the last 40 years to throw a complete game walk-off loss after allowing 0 hits over the first 8 innings. That's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, that's insane.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. So we have the calls from both networks on this situation. So let's hear the Angels call first. And remember that Ginn has already lost the no-hitter. He's already given up one hit in the ninth inning. He went into the ninth with the no-no alive, gives up a base hit, and then Neto comes to the plate.
Inning for the first time. Here's a fly ball, center field. Hits it well. Bolte is back near the wall. It's gone! Unbelievable! What a finish! Zach Neto says goodnight to the A's, and JT Ginn walks it off with a home run.
So there you go. Hey, high fives all around, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's how it
right.
sounded on the old Angels network.
Very sad. Very happy. Very happy stuff.
The Sacktown Athletics, their announcers were not nearly as excited.
To center field, going back is Henry Bolte at the track, leaping up, and a home run for Zach Neto. A 2-1 walk-off win on a home run. What a gut punch for the Athletics. On a career-high night for JT Ginn, had a no-hitter going into the ninth. Athletics able to scratch across the run they needed. And Dallas, they leave losing this game 2-1.
How about it, Dallas?
Just an incredibly unfortunate series of events.
Oh, man.
That's one way to put it.
That is one way to put it. Yeah, so you're taking a no-hitter into the ninth. How many times do you see when a pitcher gives up that base hit? He was sat like 102 pitches, right?
Right.
So you're thinking after he given up the base hit, he's still in line for the win. How many times do you see the pitcher, the manager take the pitcher out in that situation?
Usually.
Right?
Often, yeah.
Left him in there.
Let him get the complete game, I guess. You got to let it happen.
Well, he did get a complete game.
That's a complete game.
Yeah, technically that is a complete game.
Yep, maybe only a third of an inning.
But that was the agony and the ecstasy last night.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. All right, let's take a quick break. We're coming back to wrap up hour number 1 in a moment.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914,
The same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show, but frankly, folks, we're just getting warmed up around here. It's a hot one here in West Virginia, but we'll deal with it all afternoon, taking you right up until 6 o'clock on Metro News Hotline. The news is coming next. On the other side, we'll take a look at what happened today on Wall Street. Reset our question of the day. Who would you like to see buy the naming rights to Mountaineer Field? Never too early to talk about football. Speaking of football, Alex Kozora from Steeler Depot will be here to talk about the Steelers OTAs. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
After today, it won't be cold, but cooler than it has been and rather active with daily rain chances through Memorial Day. 7-day accumulation would be at least 1.5 inches for the lightest shade of purple and up to, say, 3 inches in the bright reds near Morgantown. Adding some context, though, Charleston is behind monthly average by 2 inches, year-to-date by 5.5 inches. And just to keep up with average, we need over 1 inch. So if we get 1 3/4 inches, imagine these numbers improving by only 0.6 or so of an inch. Now, for thunderstorms, a marginal severe risk for the northern panhandle this afternoon and evening, a widespread marginal risk Wednesday afternoon and evening. So we will see a few storms out there, especially looking north in the overnight hours, then generally a lull before additional rain builds in from the west as we head through the day. Late afternoon and evening is when we start to see some stronger storms and some widespread rain that will fill out West Virginia and linger for a wet Thursday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. That same cold front will have temperatures falling for D.C., for New York, but Chicago already cool behind the front with stormy pockets depending on where you're traveling. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast, New Cumberland 65 tonight, Moundsville 68, 71 to 76 here tomorrow with storms. Going east where we stay closer to 70 overnight, and because the cold front reaches here last, a lot of these communities do manage 90s one more time on Wednesday. We'll see Elkins at 65 tonight, Ripley 67, highs and low 80s here to mid 70s for our Wednesday. We'll see Charleston 67 tonight, Lewisburg 59, 85 there, 83 in Charleston on Wednesday. Then we'll see low 70s and upper 60s by Thursday. Gradually warmer through the holiday weekend with more storm action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for MetroNews Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2, how do you do? MetroNews Hotline, here until 6 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. I really do appreciate it. Hey, wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. We hope you're having a good day. It is a scorcher here in Charleston today, 87 degrees. Lots of heat. Now, Coop, it really looked like rain when I was coming in here. Has it started raining yet?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
No, not that I've seen.
All right. We got a pretty good hour planned for you. We will take a quick peek at what happened in the financial markets. We'll reset our question of the day. Alex Kozora sitting in for Dave Bryant, coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Are we allowed to talk about what's going on with Dave Bryant?
I don't know.
Okay. It's personal stuff.
He's fine.
He's okay.
He's
fine. He's fine. He'll tell the story.
Yeah, we'll let him tell
He'll tell the story next week. A little bit later on in the hour, we'll get the entertainment report. Alex Wiederspiel is going to join us. It's a 2-Alex hour on the program today. So Alex Wiederspiel will be at the bottom of the hour. Our MetroNews Hockey Insider. Oh, man. The news continues to roll in about the Penguins. We'll ask him about last night's Game 7 heartbreaker for the Buffalo Sabres. Montreal wins that game in overtime. They're advancing. Vancouver fired their coach today. So we got a lot of hockey talk today with Alex. We'll get that at the bottom of the hour. Also, Sidney Crosby, he's playing in the World Championships over in Europe right now. What would a contract extension look like for Sidney Crosby? And can you imagine Crosby playing for any other team besides the Penguins? That'll be one of the things we'll be talking about with Alex. A little bit later on in the hour, we will get you into the On the State file, the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock. Anthony Lewis is back at 5. Our Mountaineer Insider, Wren Baker, by the way, West Virginia's athletic director, met the media today. And so we're going to hear some of that. And we got a Tickets Tuesday coming at 5:33. If you've never experienced that, you call in right after in or out at 5:25. You get on the air with me. You pick a category. The categories rotate. Today's categories are WVU baseball, specifically about the Big 12 tournament, hockey dynasties, and the mystery category. And the answer to the mystery category is something that will be mentioned before we open up the phone lines, and the segment will begin at 5:33. And the winner today will get 2 tickets to go see Chicago here in Charleston in June. So we're going to do that today. We're going to do that next Tuesday as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite segments, Tickets Tuesday. That's coming up at 5:33 this afternoon. All right, moving on. Here's what happened in the financial markets today. In the markets, the Dow Jones was down 0.6%, losing 322 points today, 49,363. S&P 500 was down 0.2%, losing just under 50 points today, 73.53. NASDAQ was down 0.8%, lost 220 points today, closing at 25,870 at 4 o'clock Eastern. Among stocks of local interest to West Virginia that were big percentage gainers or losers today, FMC was down 6.1%, lost 83 cents, 12.72 at the close today. Kroger was up 3.7%, gained $2.53, 70.85 at the close today. NiSource was up 1.9%, tacked on 87 cents, 47.42. We're still into earnings. The big story tomorrow will be NVIDIA reports after the bell, and then Walmart is reporting on Thursday. In the energy space today, oil down 0.8%, lost 89 cents. WTI in the NYMEX closed at $107.77. And currently, nat gas is up 3.2%, up a dime, trading at $3.12 per unit. And Bitcoin today, Bitcoin is up, but just, up $8. A coin going for 76,857 cents. Our question of the day. We mentioned that Wren Baker met the media today in Morgantown, and he offered this, that right now there's no imminent update on the naming rights for Mountaineer Field, where WVU plays football inside Pushkar Stadium. But they continue to explore all available options. So here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. Who would you like to see buy the naming rights for Mountaineer Field? Who would you like to see buy the naming rights for Mountaineer Field? And we'll take serious answers and non-serious answers, too. You can respond on the text line, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. To the text line. Oh, I was mentioning the fact that the Pirates, after a day off, are in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals tonight. And former Mountaineer J.J. Weatherhold, I mentioned to Coop in the 3 o'clock hour, that he's already been hit. He's a rookie. He's already been hit by pitches 10 times already this season. And I brought up Ron Hunt. And Ron Hunt, Coop and I were discussing this briefly off the air, that Hunt was actually hit 50 times in a season. And that is
That's a lot.
That is a lot,
that is
man.
so much.
50 times in a season. And so this texter, 681-452, hey, Dave, you remember Ron Hunt. You must be almost as old as me. He was the only Met on the All-Star team one year. What do you remember about Jim Maloney of the Reds? Well, I remember a bunch of things. In terms of Jim Maloney, Coop, you probably know more about Maloney than I do, but he was a really hard-throwing pitcher. And I guess his claim to fame is in 1965, he had 2 no-hitters, and both of them went extra innings. His first no-hitter against the Mets, I don't have the notes in front of me, but he struck out like 18 batters in this game. And then once he got into extra innings, a Met hit a home run, and they lost the game 1-0. Major League Baseball at the time looked at that situation and called it a no-hitter, but it is now technically not, because if a no-hitter is broken up in extra innings, it isn't claimed as a no-hitter.
Okay.
So he lost the no-no, and he didn't, and he lost the game. But I remember also, and we play this clip every year on the anniversary of it. Sometime in August, he had a game where, his fastball was working again against the Cubs at Wrigley, and he had a no-hitter, but he had to throw 10 innings to get it done. And that was a 10-inning no-hitter for Maloney, and that was in 1965. So I know a little bit about Jim Maloney. Thanks for the text. Coop, let's talk some Steeler football. Let's get into some Steeler football, and let's get Alex Kozora in here to do it. All right. Alex Kozora stepping in for Dave from Steeler Depot. How you doing today, Alex?
Hey, guys. Doing well. Like you said, hot day outside and heating up in Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers back and the team at practice.
Yeah, let's talk about the OTAs. How long is this going to go on, first of all?
They started yesterday. They're going to run through, what will happen is they'll run through the end of the month, and Pittsburgh will have a 3-day mandatory minicamp early in June where all players under contract are required to attend, and then they'll have a couple more voluntary sessions until mid-June, and then break, and then come back to training camp in late July.
So we know this about Rodgers. I mean, the ink is still kind of wet on his deal, but he was one of the first guys on the field yesterday.
Yeah, and it's good to get him there, whenever everybody else is. I think it's really important, not for Rodgers because he knows this offense chapter and verse working with Mike McCarthy for so long, but to be around teammates, especially new faces like Michael Pittman, the receiver they traded for from the Colts in the offseason, like a rookie wide receiver in Jeremy Bernard, somebody who can bank reps and gain chemistry and knowledge and understanding of what Rodgers is looking for, which is so important for any veteran quarterback, especially a self-proclaimed perfectionist like Aaron Rodgers. So the more reps, the more chances to mentor young quarterbacks like Will Howard and Drew Aller, the better off the whole team will be.
You mentioned Pittman. Let's start there. So Pittman, we know what he can do, what he's accomplished already with the Indianapolis Colts. What's he really bring to the wide receiver room, in your opinion?
Yeah, there's certainly a level of professionalism to him. He's not going to be somebody that'll be upset about targets or involvement, which will be refreshing in Pittsburgh, where that's been a storyline for many seasons in recent memory. But a guy that can run good routes and block and do the dirty work underneath. The question will be, can Pittsburgh expand that? Can they get Pittman back to his early career Colts production with some more down-the-field type plays, explosive plays? That'll be the question with him. Michael Pittman said he was excited to come to Pittsburgh and be traded over because Mike McCarthy vowed to diversify Pittman's role, which really was the underneath receiver the last 2 years with the Colts, where Alec Pierce was that vertical big play threat. And so you're going to get somebody who can certainly make all the tough catches underneath the ceiling, and the question will be, can he make those plays beyond 15 yards?
Some of the guys that have been in the wide receiver room with the varying degrees of limited success, I guess, the Van Washingtons, the Scotty Millers, Allen Robinson, MVS, you put Pittman in there and you get Jeremy Bernard in there. Just, on the surface, it looks like a more talented wide receiver room.
It is, no question. The concern will still be, can Pittsburgh beat man coverage? And that was a big issue last year. Think about DK Metcalf whenever he served his 2-game suspension, that Browns game, when you're facing really good cover corners like what Cleveland has, like Houston in the wild card game. And can Pittman and Bernard do that? That'll be the question they'll have to answer. But on paper, of course, it is certainly an upgrade to add Pittman, to add Bernard. You have Rowan Wilson coming back, and then just Mike McCarthy and his offense and the innovation and creativity in an offense that should feel more modern than it has been in recent years. So talent and coaching and scheme, combine all that, you would expect better results.
All right, and let me ask you this. Look into your crystal ball, and we're talking about Alex Kozora from Steeler Depot, sitting in for Dave this week. He'll be back with us next week. Look into your crystal ball and tell me what the Steelers' offensive line looks like for the opener. What do you think who will be in there, and what positions will they be playing?
That is a great question. My crystal ball a little fuzzy right now. I may have to get back to you on that. But it was interesting, reportedly, the way it's set up for day one yesterday, and that's just the first day of install and everything, was Troy Fautanu at left tackle, flipping over from the right side, Mason McCormick at left guard, flipping over from the right side, Zach Frazier at center, Spencer Anderson right guard, and Dylan Cook at right tackle. So Pittsburgh has a lot of options. I think the ideal scenario is something to the effect of Fautanu at left tackle, McCormick or the rookie Jennings Dunker at left guard, Frazier at center, maybe Dunker at right guard, and Ihanichor, the rookie right tackle. But there are so many combinations and permeations that this offensive line could undergo that it's really hard to know. I don't think the team even knows exactly how it's going to look, and they're going to move some of these guys around. Ihanichor, kind of an underdeveloped rookie, a guy that'll be needing to really show that he can start week one. So this thing could go in half a dozen different ways, but Pittsburgh has invested heavily in the offensive line. There are certainly a lot of options, a lot of talent, and that's the good thing going forward.
Alex, I didn't hear the name Broderick Jones there. So, I mean, what do you think Jones' future is this season? Providing he's healthy, where does he fit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, health is the big thing, and according to reports, he was not practicing in the team periods to begin OTA. So can he get cleared for training camp and be a full go? Then will be kind of the benchmark for him. But it's still hard to see, even if he's healthy, where that starting role is at when you have a guy like Dylan Cook that played well last year. Thought Tony was going to be one of your starting tackles and a first-round pick that Mike McCarthy did call plug and play, like Maxi Honachor. So it could be a swing role where he's the backup at left tackle and right tackle and can fill in at either spot. Pittsburgh really prioritizes versatility, and Jones has that. And even though teams love to hold on to tackle depth, and Pittsburgh certainly could, I wouldn't be shocked if Jones became a trade candidate come late August if he's healthy, because he's still a young tackle. Last year of his rookie contract, pretty inexpensive, and teams around the NFL are desperate for offensive tackle help. He could fetch a potential fourth-round pick, and if Pittsburgh likes Honachor's progress, they have Tanu and Dylan Cook as well. Those could be the three tackles. So it could be a swing role for Broderick Jones. It could be somewhere else come September.
All right. Well, if your 8-ball is a little cloudy, you may not have the answer to this question either, but we got to talk about it. What's the probability that the Steelers are keeping 4 QBs? And if they are keeping 4, who's number 3 and who's number 4?
Yeah, I don't want to rule out the possibility of 4 quarterbacks. I know that's extremely unusual for teams to do, but Pittsburgh's in a pretty unique situation with their quarterback room. But if there was an odd man out, I think the easy answer is Mason Rudolph, just because of the way Mike McCarthy's talked about Will Howard. Of course, Drew Aller's going to have a spot, and same with Aaron Rodgers. So that's all to be determined. And we saw Will Howard get hurt last year and go on IR, and that kind of solved the problem and got Skylar Thompson on the 53. So one injury to anybody could certainly change the complexion of things again. I want to let the whole process play out. Pittsburgh won't have to decide until late August on that decision. But if there is an odd man out, it's likely to be Rudolph, and in all likelihood, they'll keep 3 instead of 4.
What do you make of this chatter about the rookie from Penn State, Will Aller, that they've got to break him all the way down and rebuild him up, as opposed to what he was taught to do when he was in State College, and in terms of how his feet were set when he was in the pocket? Are you buying any of that? Is there any truth to this stuff?
Well, it certainly seems true, and Mike McCarthy was brought in because of, in part at least, because of his ability to develop and mold up quarterbacks, and Drew Aller certainly needed to be developed and molded. I think anyone that was concerned about them changing his footwork, why would you be? It was a mess at Penn State. I'd be more concerned if they were keeping things the status quo. He's a guy that needs to have that, rebuilding, so he's a more accurate and more consistent quarterback. And McCarthy and quarterbacks coach Tom Arthur are all big on footwork. McCarthy's talked about that everything you do with a quarterback is footwork. He's less inclined to change a quarterback's throwing motion and more inclined to fix their feet, and that's his philosophy in terms of how he builds up a quarterback. So there's still a long ways to go. There's no guarantee that coaching is going to fix it, but I think it's the right thing to do, the necessary thing to do to give this guy a chance to succeed at the NFL level.
Got a couple more minutes here. I just want to get your general thoughts on the Steelers' schedule that got revealed last week. For me, one of the areas that a lot of people, I think, aren't talking enough about is that turnaround where the Steelers are going to host the Bengals in late September and then go to Cleveland for a midweek game. What was your takeaway on the reveal of the schedule?
Yeah, I'll be honest, and Dave and I differ on it a little bit. I'm not a big schedule release guy because the NFL is going to change so many ways that we can't even predict or think about right now. But I think it's certainly valid to talk about that week 3 to week 4 turnaround, back-to-back divisional games, and then going to Cleveland on the road on a Thursday. Pittsburgh 0-4 lifetime at Cleveland on a short week on a Thursday. So hopefully Mike McCarthy can change those things, on paper. And again, it's always on paper, but that back half of the schedule certainly looks daunting. Week 11 at Philly, week 12, Black Friday game hosting Denver, week 13 hosting the Texans, Jaguars, Ravens, and then Baltimore in week 18 on the road. So that's going to be a challenge, and it feels like the last couple of years, Pittsburgh's second half of the schedule, on the surface, it looks more daunting, and so Pittsburgh certainly will have to play their best football come November, December.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Alex, thanks for joining us, and you're welcome back anytime. Good to talk to you today.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Alex Kozora from Steeler Depot. Tell you what, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with the entertainment report in just a minute.
Don't forget about our podcast. Check out your favorite podcast provider or simply go to wvmetronews.com and click on the podcast link. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
And the Ad Council.
I don't like when I'm stopped at a stoplight, sitting there in my car. The light changes, and people in the crosswalk, and they don't hurry up to get out of the way. And sometimes there'll be a tough guy in the group, and he'll slow down almost, just to show how tough he is. He's looking at my car like he's gonna fight it, you know? I think you should be able to hit one person a year with your car. Not to kill, just to communicate, just to say, hey, it was my turn. And then as he rolls over the top of your car, maybe he'd be thinking, God, this guy used his one hit for the year on me. Maybe I'm a...
We've all been there. We have all been there. 4:28 on the show, almost halfway home on this Tuesday. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, time now for Talking TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
What was
Festival fans can now experience their favorite music festivals from the comfort of home. Disney Plus and Hulu have announced they will live stream performances from Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, and Austin City Limits. The streams will also include exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes content from performers. Disney is the parent company of Hulu, Disney Plus, and ABC News.
Then go and get it.
HBO Max has released a second teaser for Lanterns. The new trailer reveals that Emmy Award winner Laura Linney will be joining the cast. Lanterns is set to premiere on August 16th. The American Music Awards have announced that the Pussycat Dolls will be returning to the AMA stage with a special performance by Busta Rhymes. The Pussycat Dolls join a slate of previously announced performers including Karol G, Billy Idol, and Cat's Eye. The AMA Awards will air on CBS and stream on Paramount Plus on May 25th. And happy birthday to country star Lainey Wilson, who's 34 today. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Mike, thank you. Tonight on the broadcast nets, probably the best thing on the board is on CBS at 8 o'clock. Forever Young, a Grammy salute to Rod Stewart live. 2 hours worth. 2 hours worth tonight on CBS. ABC's got 3 straight hours of R.J. Decker tonight. Psst, they're all repeats. On Fox, a new episode of Farmer Wants a Wife at 8. And at 9, Bear Grylls is Running Wild. We'll take a break for local news here at the bottom of the hour on the program. When we come back, we're talking hockey. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
After today, it won't be cold, but cooler than it has been and rather active with daily rain chances through Memorial Day. 7-day accumulation would be at least 1.5 inches for the lightest shade of purple and up to, say, 3 inches in the bright reds near Morgantown. Adding some context, though, Charleston is behind monthly average by 2 inches, year-to-date by 5.5 inches. And just to keep up with average, we need over 1 inch. So if we get 1 3/4 of an inch, imagine these numbers improving by only 0.6 or so of an inch. Now, for thunderstorms, a marginal severe risk for the northern panhandle this afternoon and evening, a widespread marginal risk Wednesday afternoon and evening. So we will see a few storms out there, especially looking north in the overnight hours, then generally a lull before additional rain builds in from the west as we head through the day. Late afternoon and evening is when we start to see some stronger storms and some widespread rain that will fill out West Virginia and linger for a wet Thursday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. That same cold front will have temperatures falling for D.C., for New York, but Chicago already cool behind the front with stormy pockets depending on where you're traveling. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, New Cumberland 65 tonight, Moundsville 68, 71 to 76 here tomorrow with storms. Going east where we stay closer to 70 overnight, and because the cold front reaches here last, a lot of these communities do manage 90s one more time on Wednesday. We'll see Elkins at 65 tonight, Ripley 67, highs and low 80s here to mid 70s for our Wednesday. We'll see Charleston 67 tonight, Lewisburg 59, 85 there, 83 in Charleston on Wednesday. Then we'll see low 70s and upper 60s by Thursday. Gradually warmer through the holiday weekend with more storm action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti-everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. We'll talk some hockey here in just a moment, but let me give you a quick update on what's going on with the Marshall baseball team. They are in action this afternoon in Montgomery, Alabama, in the Sun Belt Conference tournament. The Herd is the 10 seed in this tournament, taking on the Ragin' Cajuns of the University of Louisiana. Marshall started well, pushed across a run in the top of the first inning, but it's been a rough one so far since then. In the bottom of the inning, ULL loaded the bases with nobody out and scored 3 runs. So we've moved on to the top of the second inning, and Marshall trailing Louisiana 3-1. We'll keep you updated on that. That game started at 4 o'clock straight up, so we may have a final by the time we get close to the end of the show. All right, question of the day. Let me get you updated on that. We'll hear from Wren Baker, West Virginia's athletic director, in the 5 o'clock hour. He had a press conference today, and in his remarks, early in his remarks, he made the note that he doesn't have an imminent update on the naming rights for Mountaineer Field, but continues to explore options. So here's the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. Who would you like to see buy the naming rights to Mountaineer Field? Who would you like to see buy the naming rights to Mountaineer Field? You can text that in, and we've got some pretty interesting suggestions. We want some serious ones, and maybe some not-so-serious ones, too. We'll take them all. 304-TALK, 304, 304-8255, 304. You can find me on X, too. I'm always watching that stuff at Weekly, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y, one word, 3 E's, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y. All right, Alex Wiederspiel, our MetroNews Hockey Insider, joins us now. Alex, you were on with Coop last week?
Yeah, we did a little bonus hockey talk.
Oh, there you go. I liked it. How did Coop do? Did you set him straight on the ice?
Yes, he has a very good question about Anaheim's Mason McTavish. I was very impressed.
Nice. There you go. All right. A couple of things here. You know, something's always going on in hockey. First, I want to get into the Penguins in a sec. But what's your take on Adam Foote getting fired by Vancouver? That went down today.
Yeah, I'm not surprised once they announced the new management group with Ryan Johnson and the return of the Sedins. I really didn't think they were going to bring him back, especially after the season they just had. You know, it's one thing when you're bad, and they were bad. They were hands down, unequivocally the worst team in the NHL this season. But when you've got a bunch of young players who are not taking steps under a first-time coach and you're in a development phase, you're probably in some trouble there. So I don't know what's next. They're in the midst of a pretty lengthy looking rebuild here. Maybe the only team in the NHL really, truly in one that's going to be multiple years. But, the crazy thing is that had he even done a little bit better, they could have justified bringing him back, because most management groups don't want to play that card right away. They'd like to say, hey, we're gonna slow play this. Let's observe for a year or so, and then hey, I can pull out the coach firing card a little bit later. But to pull it out right now probably says more about the state of their young players who were on the team last year.
Man, think about Vancouver. I mean, just 2 years ago, they were a 50-win team. They got to the second round of the playoffs. They pushed Edmonton to a 7th game, and then it all just collapsed on itself.
It was pretty wild, and a bunch of things that were in some cases out of their control. And then I think some things that GMJR, Jim Rutherford, the former Penguins general manager, who of course won 2 Stanley Cups in Pittsburgh's front office and a Stanley Cup in Carolina. I think he overplayed his hand a little bit with both JT Miller, Elias Pettersson, and then even Quinn Hughes as well, probably more so than the others. And that's obviously a big one there. Quinn now in Minnesota, and Rutherford is pretty much set to retire at this point. But I think very, very highly of Jim Rutherford, but I do think he might have overplayed his hand a bit.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Sidney Crosby. He's eligible for an extension on July 1st. How imminent is this? Is this something that could possibly get done this summer or not?
I'm sure it could. I don't think there's any reason to rush it since he only becomes eligible for an extension, as you mentioned, on July 1st. And my suspicion is, especially after the year he just had, think about when you're thinking about a breakup, right? And think about Sidney Crosby's relationship with the Penguins. When you're thinking about moving on or making like a major change in your life, you usually really need a huge push to make that decision, right? And at this point, I think we know Sidney Crosby is in the driver's seat with whatever decision gets made. The Penguins will write him a blank check, and he's willingly taken multiple pretty team-friendly deals at this point in his career, and likely is going to take another one. I think the fact that they had such a good year this year indicates to me that whatever ledge he may have even been inching to, and I always thought that was artificially created more by Canadian media who really wanted to see him return to Montreal or unite with his protege Nathan MacKinnon. I think the reality is now he's probably not even thinking about the possibility of doing anything other than finishing out his career in Pittsburgh. If there was even 1% that had him inching towards leaving, I think that he's not even thinking about it anymore.
You take a look at some of the numbers, and of course, Crosby's playing in the World Championships in Europe right now. I mean, he's probably, barring injuries, and Sydney's had a lot of injuries, barring injuries, he's going to be only the second player ever to have 2,000 points, right? Is there a scenario out there that he would get to those types of levels in his career with another team? Can you see Crosby finishing his career outside Pittsburgh?
I really can't. The only scenario to me that would ever have made sense would have been either Montreal or Colorado. And I just don't see why he would do it at this point unless Pittsburgh did a whole bunch of things to basically undo everything that just occurred, all the goodwill that was just built up over the course of this season, where, you know, Crosby had even said he had kind of resigned himself. If it takes, I'm paraphrasing here, but I think he had mentioned if it takes 5 years, he's in it for the long haul in Pittsburgh. And lo and behold, they just had this great year while they're waiting for some of these prospects to arrive. And one of them even did in Ben Kindle, who played his rookie season as an 18-year-old that absolutely nobody expected to occur and was pretty good in the process. So I have a hard time believing. I think he's Pittsburgh through and through. I just don't see a scenario right now where it's realistic to think he leaves.
So did you think Buffalo was going to win that game? Were you surprised that Montreal won it in overtime and they were advancing again?
So yes, in the sense that I picked Buffalo in 7 in this series, but I had a couple of concerns last night as the game went on. I thought Buffalo played a great game for the back 40 minutes of that game. But Buffalo allowed 27 goals in that series, right? 13 of them came across all 7 first periods. So across the other 2/3 of the game, they only gave up 14 goals. When you're not starting on time, that's a huge issue, right? That's why Vegas fired Bruce Cassidy and replaced him with John Tortorella, right? A Stanley Cup winning coach. And when you're a team with a lot less experience like Buffalo in that case, and you don't have the goaltending either, like, you know, the New York Rangers, when they were at sort of the height of their powers a couple of years ago, they would every now and then not start on time. And on the first year under Peter Laviolette, they had the most comeback wins in the league. And it was because their goaltending would keep them in it for the first 20 minutes, and then they'd right the ship, make the adjustments, and they'd win the final 40 minutes. Buffalo doesn't really have that, and you saw that on the winning goal last night. So even though I picked Buffalo to win, and I picked them to win in 7, when you watched the way that game was turning out, they made multiple mistakes on odd man rushes where they were trying to get in tight on Jakub Dobiš, which was a mistake. Montreal, I think, read those plays perfectly. It doesn't surprise me that the team with the better goalie won.
You know what, though? It was just one of those things. I think there was a lot of sentimental hopes that Buffalo was going to continue their run in the playoffs because they just hadn't been there in so long. But they really had trouble winning games at home in the playoffs.
They did. They started slow. And remember, like we say, they were the home team in both of these series. So they had games 1 and 2 at home. They started slow against Boston in games 1 and 2. They started slow against Montreal, really slow against Montreal in game 2. They didn't play particularly well in game 5 either. So, I mean, that's a huge issue, an inability to win games at home, especially when you have last change, right? Like you have the matchup advantage there. And I think Buffalo, like we saw from a territorial perspective, they took advantage of it. You got to finish your chances, though. And that Tage Thompson chance in overtime where he is, instead of taking a clean shot from a good spot off of a good pass, trying to instead get to the net and basically go in tight on Dobish. I think he's going to be thinking about that all offseason.
All right. And here's something about the Sabres related to the Penguins. So Lindy Ruff and John Cooper from Tampa Bay, they're nominated with Dan Muse for the Adams Award. What chance do you give Muse of winning that award?
This is the first time I would say I actually have no real feel for who could, because I'm a big Cooper guy. I think what Cooper did with the amount of man games Tampa Bay lost and the players that they were without for huge parts of this season, and the fact that he's never won it before, which is ridiculous, I would go with Cooper. But I think it's more likely to be Muse or Ruff, and my gut is it's going to be Ruff, but I have very little confidence in being right about that. I could really see Muse getting the job done. They all three, and I think, have really strong cases, but I think by the voters' perspective, Cooper will have the weakest case, which kind of leaves it to Ruff and Muse.
But I mean, in terms of what was expected from these teams and the coaches that were nominated, didn't Pittsburgh really do the best job? I mean, they weren't expected to be a playoff team at all. It's funny. I heard somebody call it this, that Penguins fans at the beginning really didn't expect much, but at the end they expected everything.
Yeah, I think that probably does sum it up a little bit. And that's what happens when you have 82 games and play pretty well. And here's what I'll say about Muse. He did it without elite goaltending, which is that's usually the norm for the Jack Adams Award, is like, let's just find the coach who somehow, squeezed out the best goaltending. That's not really what happened in Pittsburgh. They instituted a real rush-based attack, and they sort of survived their goaltending all season. But Buffalo, similarly, they didn't have elite goaltending. They did it by committee. It came back to bite them last night. But so I think there's an argument to make. I think, if anything, the argument against John Cooper is that of the three of them, he got the best goaltending, and head coaches have, in some cases, the least to do with that particular position.
All right, got to leave it there. Alex Wiederspiel, our MetroNews Hockey Insider. Good to talk to you today. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave.
All right, Alex Wiederspiel. Let's take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time to crack open the On the State file. Stay tuned.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ, or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's a great point. Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
All right, welcome back to the show. About 10 minutes till the hour. We'll get into the on this date file in just one sec. Let me give you an up-to-the-second update on what's going on with the Marshall baseball team at the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. No scoring in the second inning. We're moving to the top of the third. The Herd at the plate. A runner on with nobody out, trailing Louisiana 3-1. We'll keep you updated on that as we move along this afternoon. We got a sports update coming up in about 10 minutes. All right, let's get into the birthdays. We'll crack open the On This Date file. We'll start with the birthdays, and as always, we will start with the sports birthdays. Archie Manning. Archie Manning. Man, what a player. College at Ole Miss, and then in the NFL with the Saints, and, of course, his son and now his grandson. Archie Manning is 76 years old today. A couple of former Yankees having birthdays today. Rick Cerone, the catcher, well, not only played for the Yankees, played for the Red Sox, the Mets, the Expos, too. 72 years old. Ed Whitson, probably more success, obviously, with the Padres than the Yankees. He's 71 years old. Bill Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer, coached in the WNBA as well. 69 years old today. Mario Chalmers, 40 years old today. And speaking of the NBA and birthdays, how about Kevin Garnett? Kevin Garnett, 15-time NBA All-Star. All those years with the T-Wolves, no success in the playoffs. When he got to the Celtics, they won a championship. He's 50 years old today. KG, one of those guys who went directly from high school to the NBA, 50 years old today. This is probably his signature moment, the post-game interview on the court after the Celtics won the finals in 2008.
11-time All-Star, League MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Now it's time to add to your resume, NBA champion. How does that sound?
Man, I'm so hyped right now. Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
KG, Kevin Garnett, 50 years old today. Entertainment birthdays today. Phil Rudd, the drummer for AC/DC, he's 72. The singer and actress Grace Jones, she is 78. David Hartman, actor and then the original anchor of Good Morning America, is 91 years old today. Michael Che from Saturday Night Live, Weekend Update, he's 43. They just wrapped up season number 51 of SNL over the weekend. Lainey Wilson, the country star from Yellowstone, 34 years old today. Birth anniversaries. Andre the Giant, born in this state in 1946. He died young. died young at the end of January in 1993 at the age of 46. You know, ZZ Top's coming to Charleston. Dusty Hill, born on this date in 1949. He died at the end of July in 2021 at the age of 72. Joey Ramone, born on this date in 1951. Died April 15th, 2001 at the age of 49. Coop, hit me with some of the Ramones. Joey Ramone, born on this date in 1951, gone too soon at the age of 49. On this date, 1977, the movie Smokey and the Bandit premieres, starring Burt Reynolds and Sally Field and Jackie Gleason. Who could ever forget that 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am in the movie?
Universal presents Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, Jerry Reed, and Fred.
We're going to really have to cook. I mean, put it on the back burner and let's cook. Is that a 10-4? 10-4.
And the only thing that stands between them and an $80,000 prize. Jackie Gleason as Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
I gotta barbecue your bandit. I got a smoky report for you. What's your handle, son? My handle is Smokey Bear, and I'm tail grabbing your ass right now.
There you go. Smokey and the Bandit premieres on this date in 1977. And finally, back to baseball. Juan Marichal, 1960, debuts as a Giant pitcher, beats Philadelphia on a one-hitter in his first ever game. One hit, struck out 12, only walked one. He won the most games in the 1960s, 243 wins in his career. Probably the best pitcher to never win the Cy Young.
Well, I never won the Cy Young. And when you show those numbers to anybody that knows baseball, they wonder. I said, what happened to this guy? He won so many games, so many times, 20 or more games, and never win a Cy Young. I don't know. The only question, the only answer I get, or I give the people, is that one time was only one Cy Young for both leagues.
Right. Until 1967, there was only one.
Yes.
All right. And our musical birthday to the break, Pete Townsend of The Who is 81 today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are coming up next.
People forget. The snow packs and the ski tracks. People forget. Forget they're hiding behind fun.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on MetroNews Television.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
All right, sports headlines at 5 o'clock. Sunbelt Conference Baseball Tournament. Marshall continues to trail Louisiana 3-1. They're in the bottom of the third inning in Montgomery, Alabama. The Pirates are back in action tonight in St. Louis against the Cards. Reds will be in Philadelphia to take on the Phillies, and after a day off, the Dirty Birds will be at Gastonia tonight. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
After today, it won't be cold, but cooler than it has been and rather active with daily rain chances through Memorial Day. 7-day accumulation would be at least 1.5 inches for the lightest shade of purple and up to, say, 3 inches in the bright reds near Morgantown. Adding some context, though, Charleston is behind monthly average by 2 inches, year-to-date by 5.5 inches. And just to keep up with average, we need over 1 inch. So if we get 1 3/4 of an inch, imagine these numbers improving by only 0.6 or so of an inch. Now, for thunderstorms, a marginal severe risk for the northern panhandle this afternoon and evening, a widespread marginal risk Wednesday afternoon and evening. So we will see a few storms out there, especially looking north in the overnight hours, then generally a lull before additional rain builds in from the west as we head through the day. Late afternoon and evening is when we start to see some stronger storms and some widespread rain that will fill out West Virginia and linger for a wet Thursday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. That same cold front will have temperatures falling for D.C., for New York, but Chicago already cool behind the front with stormy pockets depending on where you're traveling. Panhandle forecast, New Cumberland 65 tonight, Moundsville 68, 71 to 76 here tomorrow with storms. Going east where we stay closer to 70 overnight, and because the cold front reaches here last, a lot of these communities do manage 90s one more time on Wednesday. We'll see Elkins at 65 tonight, Ripley 67, highs and low 80s here to mid 70s for our Wednesday. We'll see Charleston 67 tonight, Lewisburg 59, 85 there, 83 in Charleston on Wednesday. Then we'll see low 70s and upper 60s by Thursday. Gradually warmer through the holiday weekend with more storm action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for MetroNews Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today, MetroNews Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in. We got a lot of stuff to get taken care of before we get on out of here at 6 o'clock. Oh, look who's here. Anthony Lewis, our Mountaineer Insiders, jumped on. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I forgot we were on camera. I wouldn't have worn my Dr. Pepper T-shirt, but I've been out thrifting today.
That's okay. You know, yeah.
All I can say is, someone that grew up in the era that I grew up in, I'm glad it's an actual Dr. Pepper T-shirt.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some, some funny shirts.
Yeah. Coop, I never thought about that. We might have to, sell ads, some clothing ads.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, what if we had, some sort of, hotline gear we would have to wear on the show?
Gear?
Yeah, gear. What are you gear? What are you talking about? So we're going to get into some Mountaineer stuff. Oh, I'm burying the lead again. We got a Tickets Tuesday coming at the bottom of the hour, 5:33. We've got 2 tickets to go see Chicago here in Charleston. The date on that is June the 20th. That's a Saturday. So if you've never played Tickets Tuesday, here's how it works. You call in, you get on the air with me, you pick your category. The categories rotate. Today's category, WVU baseball, and more specifically, WVU baseball and the Big 12 tournament that is beginning today, actually. West Virginia is going to play. They have a double bye. They will be playing on Thursday. So that's one category. Hockey dynasties is the second category. And then you've got the mystery category. And we always have a mystery category because we want you to listen. The answer to the mystery category has already been revealed in today's show, okay? So if you've been listening today, you've already heard the answer to the mystery category. One note about Tickets Tuesday, The phone line here is different than the text line. The phone line here is 800-765-8255. 800-765-TALK. You'll need that number to call in. Don't call in now. Call in after in or out. We'll be playing that in about 15 minutes. Once again, the phone number to call, 800-765-8255. Tickets Tuesday. It's at 5:33 for 2 tickets to go see Chicago here in Charleston. That will be on June the 20th. The categories today, WVU baseball, more specifically about the Mountaineers in the Big 12 tournament, hockey dynasties, and the mystery category. All right, question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. The WVU Athletic Director, Wren Baker, said today that he doesn't have an update on the naming rights at Mountaineer Field, but continues to explore options. So the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law, who would you like to see buy the naming rights for Mountaineer Field? Who would you like to see buy the naming rights for Mountaineer Field? Now, the text line is 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. Man, I have a lot of numbers. And you can find me on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, Anthony, today, Wren Baker. By the way, do you think you'd like to be an athletic director?
No.
You know,
not in today's.
Pays pretty well.
I know, but it's a lot of headache. And think about what he went through when he first arrived. He's replaced every coach on that roster except for Nicky Izzo-Brown.
That's pretty crazy, right? To think about that.
I mean, he's probably aged 15 years in his short time in Morgantown.
You know, but when I go back to when I was growing up, the athletic director, in my mind's eye, my thought was he was the guy who had the keys to the equipment room. You know, or he would be the guy that, you know, you need some more soccer balls or to set up the volleyball net, or maybe he'd work on the schedule a little bit.
That's him.
I know. Or you'd like go to games. You know, you just go to games.
Hang out in the athletic director's box.
Yeah, but now it's like if you're the AD, it's like, man, you're just chasing dollars
Chasing
everywhere.
dollars. You know, I just ran into them we went down to Glade Springs for the coaches caravan, and I had just returned from Knoxville. I went to Knoxville, and they had about 20 or 30 tents in left field, and the ticket price on those tents were $20,000 a piece for baseball. And basically, you got 20 tickets per game, but you got to bring all your own drinks and food to every game as a grill in your tent.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it was pretty cool. And I was like showing it to him, like, "Hey, see, you could just put some tiers out in Morgantown." I was trying to get it done. It was $600,000, but. You know, he's got his finger on the pulse. He does a great job.
It's funny, you know, Lindsey Nelson Stadium in Knoxville, that was, you know, one of the really elite venues for college baseball back in the day. Now you look around these schools, they all have really, really nice baseball parks.
They just did an addition. They just spruced it up some more. They've got a really nice ballpark. I had a great time in Knoxville.
We're going to hear a little bit of Wren Baker a little bit later on in the hour, probably after we play Tickets Tuesday. But he did address a lot of issues. You know, the football stadium renovation project. You know, can you imagine getting a job and it's like, okay, what's the first thing your boss is telling you to do? Raise $150 million.
Yeah.
Can you take care of that?
Yeah, I mean, and that stadium renovation's probably a little bit overdue, but I mean, think about the things that from when did he get here, in 2020? I mean, the things that have happened up there in the last 5 years as far as stadiums, facilities. I mean, he's really in 5 years moved West Virginia light years ahead of where it seemed to kind of stay still, especially from like 2000 or 20, about 2000 to 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a ton of renovations. At football, there was a few, but I mean, he's taken it to another dimension, but it's basically a financial arms race.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the days of having the greatest facilities, I mean, you got to have great facilities, but at the same time, it's a financial arms race.
Well, how about the other thing? How about just trying to keep your hands on what's going on with the athletes that are in your program? I mean, look at what Texas Tech is dealing with this Sorsby situation.
Yeah, what a mess that is. I guess they ruled on that. I've been kind of out of sorts.
Did they do that today?
I thought I saw where they ruled him ineligible, but maybe it was, you know, Twitter sometimes. This was like 6 in the morning. I was reading Twitter, and so I probably misread something, but I thought maybe they ruled on it.
Well, how about this case today where you've got R.J. Lewis? He played and was the player of the year in the Big East a couple of years ago, made himself eligible for the draft, didn't get drafted, got a contract in the league, got traded. Now he wants to come back. Nobody knows what – we can't even figure out what the guy's eligibility is. But it's just kind of a situation where the attorneys, it's like, well, we're going to do this. Let's see if you can stop us.
Yeah, let's
try
push the envelope.
Let's see. And that's the kind of thing that I guess athletic directors are dealing with, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Major Harris this weekend when he was in for the card show, and I said, hey, man, you still got a year of eligibility left. Why don't you come back and do something? He said, I thought about trying to go out for the golf team.
Oh, that's
so there
funny.
You go.
You know,
I bet you he could win. He would probably win his case.
Yeah, he probably would. And that's those days seem so innocent now, right? The idea that, oh my goodness, Major decided to go pro and bypass his senior year.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about guys that are playing it for 3 or 4 different schools, and virtually every elite quarterback in college football has transferred to a different school.
Yeah, they're up for sale every year.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wanted to ask you also, you and I were talking off the air about this, the big show, the Mountain State Collectors Convention that took place. I was on vacation last week and didn't get a chance to go. You know, I have to say, from what I'm hearing, that event is really succeeded beyond the dreams of what they had entailed for that when they started it last year.
Yeah, they're on a 5-year plan for that, and they're working with the CVB, which is great, and they've done a great job. They grew the tables by about 30%. So the half a hall was maxed. So the next expansion is to open the wall and move next door and try to move into that. But it was a great show. I thought a lot about you because there were some booths. I was like, oh, man, Dave would love these. But it was really cool. Like Andy Friedman, who does Topps art, was there, played Mountain Stage Sunday night.
Yeah.
But he was there for 2 days selling his custom cards and his Topps commissioned art and things like that. Really cool stuff. And I got to talk to him. I said, we've got to be close to the same age because you've got like Dave Parker in here, and Robin Yount and George Brett. He's like, well, I'll be 50. I was like, well, I just turned 50. So we're like only months apart. I was like, it makes total sense. But that was some really cool stuff. I actually got the Kathy Mattea card.
Oh, I didn't even know she had a card.
Well, they did 25 of them for Mountain Stage on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
That he commissioned, and I got card 1. So if anyone's looking for card 1, I'll sell it for no, I'm kidding. It went in the collection.
Well, one of the things that they're doing, that they're expanding with, is getting more sports celebrities in there for autographs.
Yeah,
right?
So that's the next step. You know, we the first show last year, we kept it kind of small. This year they were able to get Major Harris to come down. Now we're talking about some guys you've heard of, and I don't want to get into names. We're just throwing stuff around, but like World Series champions, names, regional names, Reds, Pirates. There was even somebody from the Orioles thrown around that may have been the '83 MVP. Who knows? But those type of names have been thrown around, and maybe like some WWF Hall of Famers.
Oh, I love that stuff. Was there a lot of Pokemon stuff?
I'm blown away by that. You could do a whole hour on Pokemon stuff. I know nothing about it, but I watched a kid open a $170 pack, or like it had like 3 or 4 packs in it, and he like the first 3 cards made his money back.
Oh man!
And everything else. And I guess he just went and flipped them. I guess. I don't know.
So Avon Coburn and Major Harris were available at this convention. So were they signing unique items, or?
Yeah, some people had some cool stuff. Somebody had an Avon Coburn jersey card, and then the fans came. A lot of fans came with some Major Harris stuff. Major doesn't have a ton of cards though. This is a really heavy.
That's true.
Card audience, but there were some people that had stuff. But they had their own WVU stuff too. But Avon has cards. So the goal is to get more guys that have cards.
Oh, you know what? I never thought about that. Major didn't have like a CFL card?
Yeah, he has CFL cards.
Okay.
And he has some custom WVU stuff and then later they put out some other stuff. But and then that series, the 100-year series,
yeah,
there's some of his cards in that. But he didn't have a lot of pro cards.
Oh, there you go. That's interesting. Yeah, Avon's got cards.
Yeah, he has cards.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'd like to get some of his Canadian cards.
So what do you we got a minute here before we have to play in or out here in a second. So I guess Are we going to be disappointed if WVU baseball doesn't do well in the Big 12 tournament, doesn't get to host a regional, and doesn't return to the Super Regional?
Ooh, yeah. So I'm looking forward to the Big 12 tournament. I think they have a good opportunity. Just to the fact that they get to sit for a few days, they get to work their regular rotation into the championship game. It's business as usual for them this weekend. So the bats got a little cold against TCU, but they were able to manufacture some runs, WVU style. That's how they do it. But I'm looking forward to it. I think they have a great opportunity. I think they're going to host. So I think Morgantown should be – everything I've read, D1 baseball, everybody I've read has them hosting. I saw one that has West Virginia, USC, I can't remember who else, man, maybe Bucknell maybe, and Virginia Tech going to Morgantown.
Well, you should be if you're in the top 16, you should host.
Yes.
Right, if you're ranked in the top 16.
It'd be great to get a super regional.
That's true.
I don't think they're in position for that.
Quickly, here's a quick update on what's going on with Marshall's baseball team in the Sun Belt tournament in Montgomery, Alabama. Louisiana has put up another crooked number. They scored 3 in the third. They now lead the herd 6-1, top of the fourth. Marshall looks like they got something going here. 2 on with 1 out in the top of the fourth inning. 6-1, though, ULL at the moment. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and play in or out in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Nathan Adkins with CEC. Why did I choose CEC? It's simple. As a Huntington native and a Marshall grad, I'm thrilled to work in CEC's Charleston office, giving back to my community. At CEC, I dive into every engineering aspect, learning from West Virginia's best. Being employee-owned means that I have a stake in my future. We're not just names on projects, we connect with clients, adding personality to every job. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304.
Or tweet at WEEKLEY.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All right, welcome back. Hey, quick reminder, the phone lines are going to be open for Tickets Tuesday after we get done with In or Out here in a moment. The number to call here is 800-765-8255, 800-765-8255. We'll open up the phone lines after we get done with In or Out here in just a moment. You get on the air with me, we'll give you a chance to win 2 tickets to go see Chicago here in Charleston. That will be on Saturday, June the 20th. All right, let's get into this and let's play a little bit of In or Out. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about around the office. We call it In or Out. The setup is simple. 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity, the topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
KFC launched a new boneless bucket for one. A boneless bucket for one. 3 tenders, 5 nuggets, fries, a medium drink, and dipping sauces for $13 in most markets. KFC's boneless bucket for one.
What all comes in it?
You get 3 original recipe tenders, 5 nuggets, fries, a medium drink, and dipping sauces.
How much?
$13.
What? Man, I mean, $3 less, and that would be a pretty good deal. They have $10 full buckets. Every day you can get $10 and get a big giant bucket of stuff.
I think their buckets are Tuesday. I think today's the day for the bucket.
They're expanding it to 5 days a week. It was one of the things that we did last week on the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that price is still a little out there for me. I got to be a little out.
All right, Anthony, what are your thoughts on this? The KFC boneless bucket for one.
I picked it. I just looked it up real quick and looked at the picture. That looks like my cholesterol level would shoot through the roof. I'm gonna just pass on this. Maybe if they had like a tenders and veggie mix or something. I don't know. This looks
veggies. We're talking about KFC.
I know but this is a lot. I can't eat all. That's crazy. No, this is bucket for 2. 3 maybe.
I have to say, I love this idea, though. The bucket for one.
A one-person bucket.
One-person bucket for one. For that, I'll be slightly in. Okay. Gut reactions next. Southwest Airlines introduced a new policy prohibiting humanoid and animal-shaped robots from cabins and checked baggage following a virtual incident involving a 3.5-foot robot named Stewie. Banning animal-shaped robots from flights, in or out?
That's probably a good idea, right? Yeah, I got to be in on this, I think. That's probably a good idea.
I just flew in from St. Pete yesterday. I don't think I would have liked to have been on board here. Anthony, what are your thoughts here? Banning humanoid and animal-shaped robots from airline flights.
So I'm a little confused. Are people bringing them, or are they working? Are they AI?
Well, this was a deal where you had this 3.5-foot robot dog named Stewie. Everybody loved it, but then when it got on the plane, they had to worry about the battery issues. It was a thing.
Yeah,
it was a whole thing.
I'm going to pass on this. I mean, service animals maybe, but robot animals, no good.
Service animals, what a scam that is. I'm out on this as well. All right, finally, this one's about a celebrity. Kiefer Sutherland Coop canceled his tour because of poor ticket sales. He announced last Friday he's canceling all U.S. performances on his Love Will Bring You Home tour due to disappointing ticket sales. Quote, with great disappointment, I have to cancel the U.S. leg of my tour. due to very low ticket sales. I don't think it's fair to the people who have bought tickets or the venues to play to half-empty houses, unquote. Kiefer Sutherland, Jack Bauer, in or out?
Okay, so, I mean, maybe I've lived in a doghouse for the last years or what tour is he going on?
Yeah, he's a singer. He's like a country singer. Did you not know that?
I had absolutely no question at all. When Meghan Trainor is canceling her concert because nobody's buying tickets, Kiefer Sutherland probably doesn't have much of a chance. Yeah, it is not. Everybody's broke, man. Nobody's going to concerts. Yeah, I'm in on Kiefer, I guess. I mean, just because he canceled his tour, I guess I'm not out on him. He was in Young Guns. I got to be in on that.
Oh, there you go. All right, so what are you thinking, Anthony? Kiefer Sutherland, in or out?
I'm in on Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know much about his music.
I have no idea.
You know, there's probably only room for one actor singing, and Billy Bob Thornton has it all boxed in right now with the Boxmasters. So, you know, and I understand, man, touring is expensive. I mean, and people, they're probably $85, $90 tickets. I mean, what song is he going to sing?
Well, he's got 3 albums in the last decade.
Name a song.
Thank you. Yeah, the boys got Blue Dot Fever, right? So they got to cancel that.
So I'm in on him, and I'm out on the music thing. I mean, go play smaller venues.
I'm in on Kiefer Sutherland. Jack Bauer.
Go to Mountain Stage.
And in the words of Jack Bauer, we're out of time.
Yeah.
We're out of time. Anthony, thanks for coming
Great
by.
to see you guys.
Let's take a break. Phone lines are open for Tickets Tuesday. Let's light them up. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
After today, it won't be cold, but cooler than it has been and rather active with daily rain chances through Memorial Day. 7-day accumulation would be at least 1.5 inches for the lightest shade of purple and up to, say, 3 inches in the bright reds near Morgantown. Adding some context, though, Charleston is behind monthly average by 2 inches, year-to-date by 5.5 inches. And just to keep up with average, we need over 1 inch. So if we get 1 3/4 of an inch, imagine these numbers improving by only 0.6 or so of an inch. Now, for thunderstorms, a marginal severe risk for the northern panhandle this afternoon and evening, a widespread marginal risk Wednesday afternoon and evening. So we will see a few storms out there, especially looking north in the overnight hours, then generally a lull before additional rain builds in from the west as we head through the day. Late afternoon and evening is when we start to see some stronger storms and some widespread rain that will fill out West Virginia and linger for a wet Thursday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. That same cold front will have temperatures falling for D.C., for New York, but Chicago already cool behind the front with stormy pockets depending on where you're traveling. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast, New Cumberland 65 tonight, Moundsville 68, 71 to 76 here tomorrow with storms. Going east where we stay closer to 70 overnight, and because the cold front reaches here last, a lot of these communities do manage 90s one more time on Wednesday. We'll see Elkins at 65 tonight, Ripley 67, highs and low 80s here to mid 70s for our Wednesday. We'll see Charleston 67 tonight, Lewisburg 59, 85 there, 83 in Charleston on Wednesday. Then we'll see low 70s and upper 60s by Thursday. Gradually warmer through the holiday weekend with more storm action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 minutes till the hour. Coop, are we lined up with all our phones, our contestants / victims? We'll get to it here.
Yeah, our order is going to be Bob will be up first. He's from Sissonville. We'll have Randy
Bob
from Oak Hill and Richard from Fairmont.
All right, Bob, Randy, and Richard. And if you're trying to get through, one of those boys is going to have to drop off the line. But we're going to go through. And here, I always say this. And I don't know why. I kind of feel like it's my sparkling personality that should keep people on the air, but it never does, right? If the first person wins the prizes, please don't drop off the line because I want to talk to you. This is the time of the show where I get a chance to talk to folks, and I really enjoy that. By the way, we're going to have a little bit of Wren Baker here in a minute after we move Tickets Tuesday. We're going to get some tickets, and hopefully you're going to win tickets to go see Chicago. We're going to do that in a minute. But Wren Baker, WVU's AD, met the media today. Pretty interesting presser, talking about stadium expansion for WVU football and what's going on at the Coliseum, too. So I want to make sure we get a chance to hear some of that. And quickly, let me give you an update on the Sun Belt Conference baseball tournament in Montgomery, Alabama. We're moving to the middle innings. The Herds got some work to do. They are trailing Louisiana 6-1. Marshall scored a run in the top of the first inning, but the Raging Cajuns put 3 on the board in the bottom of the first and added 3 more in the bottom of the third. So we're in the top of the fifth. 6-1, ULL leads Marshall. All right, let's talk to Bob. Let's get Bob in here first and give him a chance to win 2 tickets to go see Chicago. That'll be on June the 20th here in Charleston. How you doing today, Bob?
Doing well.
Hey, man, good to talk to you. We've got 3 categories. You know what, Coop? Bob's pretty crazy. Remember we had those? We had a couple of episodes where listeners could call in and quiz me.
That's right.
Bob nailed me.
Oh yeah,
a couple of times.
A few times, very well.
Hey, Bob, what was that question you asked me about the most punts in a game? You remember that? Like Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah.
What was the answer to that? It was something crazy, like 30+ punts in a game.
It was Chuck Ortman of Michigan punted 22 times.
22 times in a game. That's unbelievable.
But it was a blizzard. It was an absolute blizzard. I think and my memory is getting a little foggy here. I think at one time in the game there were 7 or 8 consecutive punts on first down.
Oh, man. All right, so I want to give you a chance to win a couple of tickets to go see Chicago, or if you win the tickets, you can give those tickets to somebody else. The topics today are WVU baseball and specifically the Big 12 tournament, which is coming up for West Virginia. Their first game's on Thursday, hopefully more games than that. And we've got hockey dynasties and the mystery category. Which category would you like?
Mystery. I've listened to the whole program, so
all right.
I should have got that.
All right, here we go. So today, Smokey and the Bandit, the movie with Burt Reynolds, premiered on this date in 1977. It was an action comedy road movie. Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, Jackie Gleason, Jerry Reed, Pat McCormick, Paul Williams. It marked the directorial debut of stuntman Hal Needham. So, what car does Burt Reynolds drive in the movie Smokey and the Bandit? Was it a 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, a 1964 Ford Mustang, a 1963 C2 Corvette split window, or a 1969 Dodge Charger RT? Do you need the options again?
Pontiac Trans Am.
Trans Am is look at Bob. Bob
That's
should
pretty
be
good. That's pretty good.
Bob should be hosting this show. Doggone it, Bob.
Man, he got it right on the money.
Good job, Bob. Yeah, it was the car driven by the bandit is a 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. It was famously finished in starlight black with gold accents, featuring a gold screaming chicken hood decal, T-top, and gold honeycomb wheels. That's correct. It was the 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
Can I throw out something on hit by pitches you were talking about?
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned Ron Hunt. And since I'm an old guy, I was around in those days. And I know there was a player, and it might have been Ron Hunt, who wore an extremely loose jersey so the ball could, on an inside pitch, just clip his jersey, and that counted as a hit by pitch.
Wow.
And I'm thinking it was Ron. It possibly could have been Frank Robinson, but I think it was Ron Hunt that wore that extremely loose hanging jersey, and he got a lot of hit by pitches with that jersey where he never felt the ball.
Yeah, the reason we brought this up is that the Pirates are playing the Cardinals tonight. The Bucks were off yesterday. They're in St. Louis tonight, and the former Mountaineer, J.J. Weatherholt, has already been hit by 10 pitches as a rookie after the Cardinals have played 45-plus games. And Ron Hunt holds the Major League modern baseball record for being hit 50 times in a season in the early 70s. And you say you remember Ron Hunt. I was talking to Coop in the 3 o'clock hour about Hunt. If you remember, he choked up on the bat. He extremely choked up on the bat, where at least maybe 6 to 8 inches of the bat was exposed to below where he kept his hands, and he would sit right on top of the plate, and literally his hands would be in the strike zone.
Yep, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Those days were when baseball was good.
All right. Well, what are you going to do with the tickets to go see Chicago?
Oh, give them to my son and granddaughter.
All right, that sounds good. You still listening to the radio that's got the antenna broken?
My daughter bought me a new radio.
All right, good. Well, hopefully,
so I'm still with you guys about 15 hours a day.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Well, Bob, thanks for listening, and Coop's going to get your details as if we don't already have them, and make sure that your family gets the tickets to go see Chicago. And thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, good deal. I enjoy talking to Bob. I tell you what, it's fun to talk to somebody that's really intelligent. Like
that's
Bob.
true. Bob always gets it to you.
He's excellent. Well, what happened, Coop? Did the other callers?
Randy was a good sport and hung on.
Oh well,
so
there
Randy
you
from
go.
Oak Hill is still with us.
Let's get the next caller / victim on the air. Let's talk to Randy. Hey, Randy, where are you calling from?
Oak Hill.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what's going on out there today? Hey, what part of Oak Hill are you living in?
The end closer to Fayetteville, the northern end.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you heard Bob. Bob was first out of the box, and he got the question. So I've got a couple of questions left on the board for absolutely no prizes, just personal pride. You want to take a crack at one?
Sure.
All right. So the categories I have left are the WVU baseball and the Big 12 tournament specifically, or hockey dynasties. Which one would you like?
Those are both toughies for me, but I'll try WVU baseball.
All right, WVU baseball. Okay. In WVU baseball's Big 12 history, and they play on Thursday after getting a double bye, WVU's best finish in the Big 12 tournament was a runner-up finish. In the title game against TCU, the Mountaineers fell behind 8-0 early, but they roared all the way back to take a late 10-9 lead. TCU tied in the ninth, and then WVU ultimately lost 11-10 in 10 innings on a solo walk-off home run by Lucan Baker of TCU. Despite the loss, it was a historic run for WVU's baseball program at the time. It marked the first time WVU had played in any conference tournament title game since they won the Big East in 1996. So the question is, In what year did WVU finish as the runner-up in the Big 12 baseball tournament? Was it 2006, 2016, 2024, or 2025? Let me give you those years again. 2006, 2016, 2024, or 2025?
Let's go with 2016.
2016 is correct. 2016 is correct. I'm going to have to give you the bell. Coop's taking Bob's information on the phone. Ding. So there you go.
All right.
There you go. Hey, so when was the last time you
And
looked
we have...
Oh, go ahead, Randy. Go ahead.
We have something in common. I'm in your fantasy baseball league.
Oh, you are? What's your team name?
Big Red Machine.
Big Red Machine. How you doing? Let me see. Let me see how you're doing.
I think I'm in fourth, maybe.
Okay. Let me see here. I can find that information. Man, we have a lot of fun, don't we? We have a lot of fun.
Oh, I love
it. Yeah. Stay in there. Stay in there.
You know what's bad about it? I didn't join the draft until the 12th round.
Yeah, so auto draft for you.
I think it was. I didn't realize the draft was going on, and I realized that when like I said, 12th round, my first pick was Sal Stewart. So that shows you.
Yeah, there you go. I see you're in fourth place. I'm winning this league, and Coop's in second place. But man, I'm looking in my rearview mirror. You're right there, son.
I'm coming after you guys.
Hey, Randy, thanks for calling in, and don't be a stranger, okay? I appreciate it.
I won't, Dave.
Thank
you.
Randy, that's a no-kill. Good deal. All right. Coop, do we have any more callers? Okay. Well, there you go. Bob won, and I don't know if you heard most of that, Coop. Randy was in our fantasy baseball league. Good guy. He's the Big Red Machine in fourth place. So he's right on our tail, man. All right, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. Thanks to everybody who called. And we're going to give away 2 more tickets to go see Chicago. That'll be next Tuesday. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear a little bit of Wren Baker, WVU's athletic director. Met the media earlier today with an update on facility improvement. We'll get into that when we come back.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
All right, welcome back. About 10 minutes till the hour. We're going to hear from Wren Baker in just a sec. You know, we just had a really engaging episode of Tickets Tuesday, and Bob won 2 tickets to go see Chicago here in Charleston on June the 20th. The problem is we lost Coop. We lost Bob.
Yeah, I lost him off of hold, unfortunately, Bob. If you can give me a call back here at the same number that you called, 800-765-8255, just so I can jot down your infos and see who's going to come pick up those tickets. So 800-765-8255, and give me a call back here real quick.
Yeah.
And I'll get that taken care of.
Yeah, well, but please call back, Bob, and we want to make sure you get your prize and go see Chicago. By the way, we had a lot of fun with that, and well, you know what? I'm going to hold on to the Hockey Dynasty question. Okay, I think Bob's calling back in. Well,
No, not yet.
Not
I was
yet?
just clearing it
Okay.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, usually you grill me on those, but you can bank
You
it.
know what? Tell you what. Let me do that real quickly. Okay, let's see. It was because it happened on this date. There you go. That's probably Bob. Why
Yeah,
don't
that's
you
Bob.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
okay,
ahead and
okay.
take that.
Go ahead and do your thing, man.
Go ahead and talk. A couple of things I can update you on real quickly here. It's not looking good for the Herd now. In the Sun Belt Conference baseball tournament in Montgomery, Alabama, moving on to the top of the 6th inning, Louisiana, man, when they score runs in bunches. They added another 3 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they now lead the Herd 9-1 in the top of the 6th. So ULL, the Raging Cajuns, put 3 up on the in the bottom of the 1st, in the bottom of the 3rd, and most recently in the bottom of the 5th inning. Marshall led this game 1-0. But now Louisiana, the 7 seed, Marshall's the 10 seed. Louisiana has now scored 9 unanswered runs on Marshall, and they lead the game 9-1 in the top of the 6th inning. All right. Wren Baker, WVU's athletic director, Wren Baker, met the media today with an update on stadium improvements, talking about improvements and maybe not just to the Pushkar Stadium where the Mountaineers play football, but the Hope Coliseum where basketball is played. Here's Wren Baker from earlier today.
And then our department-wide GPA was 3.43, 112 academic All-Americans. I've talked to you all before about how important I think it is for us to bring economic dollars into our city and state and community, and also to promote tourism throughout the state, which I've been a big proponent of, just what a great place this is to come and vacation and spend time. And so we have hosted 3 NCAA regionals already: men's soccer, women's soccer, women's basketball, and we're hoping that we add a 4th to that with baseball, but that's to be determined. If we do host 4, that'd be the most we've ever hosted. So that brings a lot of people into this city, brings a lot into the state, fills motel rooms, fills restaurants. So those are all good things for the local economy and the state's economy. hosted the women's basketball for the first time since '92, so we're very excited about that as well. And if you had a chance, and most of you probably did cover it, incredible environment, and just great for our women's basketball program, but women's basketball in this state. Golden Blue Enterprises, Don Robinson, continues to build out a team and to build that organization out. They're doing a lot to help promote NIL and give opportunities to our student athletes to grow commercial revenue. So that continues to be a focus of ours. We're going to actually add to Don's team so that we have more boots on the ground in that area. We announced the addition of premium seating in the Coliseum. I've talked about how if we're going to grow our revenues, how important that is. And so that project's being done this summer. Fans have asked for those premium experiences, and that's really important. And then you all have seen renderings and some information on the West Press Box Tower project. And that is going very well. We're quietly doing the fundraising for that, but I would just tell you that it has gone extremely well. I'll talk a little bit more about fundraising in general, and I anticipate that there will be updates there over the course of the summer heading into the fall.
So there you go. That's Wren Baker. There'll be more analysis of Baker's comments and probably a bit of a deeper dive on his presser today on Sportsline. Their program follows ours almost immediately at 6:06 down the line. The lineups are posted for the Reds game with Philadelphia tonight. Philadelphia red hot. Reds trying to turn things around. And as anticipated, Coop, for the second consecutive game in this series, no Kyle Schwarber. So Schwarber is not in the lineup for Philadelphia tonight. The Reds lineup, McLean's going to lead off, Ellie batting in the 2-hole, Steer and Stewart back in the DH spot and cleaning up. Myers, Blade, Dunn, Stevenson behind the plate, and Hayes batting ninth. And Burns will get the ball and try to turn things around for the Reds tonight. He's had a good season so far, 5-1 with a 1.87 ERA. And the Cardinals lineup is up for the Cards game with the Pirates tonight. And Weatherholt is batting first, and Victor Scott is batting ninth and playing center field for St. Louis. We'll take a break and come back and wrap it up for the day in a moment.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post-9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need,
to find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country. More than just a walk. Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
All right, folks, we're late. We got to get on out of here. Stay tuned for the news at the top of the hour. Sports Line's on the other side. My name's Dave Weekley. I'll talk to you tomorrow beginning at 3:06 right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.